What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 5 of the Be Free podcast. We got Pastor Jim here. We've got Amanda Brown, or AB, in the house. AB, she's in charge of all local global outreach at the church, and then also does just a ton of work with our staff, implementation. Amanda, so good to have you on.
Thank you.
You're laughing. What are you laughing about?
What does it mean, implementation? I'm still trying to figure it out.
It makes things, my title's executive, it doesn't really.
What does that mean?
I'm just curious because before this thing started rolling, we were having the most weird conversation about when you were going through chemotherapy.
Cancer, yeah.
You smoked a cigar, and I called you on it.
Yeah.
And you were like, "It's how I survived." And I'm like,
Mid-puff.
medically, that's not possible.
Jim says to me, smoking causes cancer while I'm bald from chemo. Yeah, but hey, I'm here.
I love you. I was just trying to look out for you. Maybe lay off the booze and the smoking till the chemo's over. I'm just saying.
Don't tell my oncologist.
Doctor.
Well, obviously, can I pull your? Is that real?
Tug. It is
Okay.
real.
Real hair.
Real hair. It's back.
Well,
It is a great story though
yeah.
about AB's journey through all
and
that.
we're glad you survived so
Yeah.
you could be here with us today.
Thanks. Yes,
So
talking about
it's just-
human trafficking.
Hey, so
One light topic to the next.
topics, So
Cancer, human trafficking.
Let's start there, Jim. You just got off the stage, and we handed AIM a check for $500,000 before any money has come in for Be Free.
Right.
Just talk more about why do we give first before we've seen anything coming? We're not sure what the number is going to be.
Yeah, that's great. I think from day one when we started as a lead team and then as a broader team of staff and elders and stuff like that, there's always this. It can't be about serving our own needs first, And I mean, even last year when we really dug into stewardship, it was like first fruits, first sacrifice, firstborn, all of that goes to the Lord first. And so I think that needs to happen in the church first, right? Like with our regular giving, we carve off that first 10% and into ministries away from here. And that's what you oversee. And I think the same thing when we did Bricks campaign, which was when we were in the feed store getting ready to remodel the Albertsons and the Walmart. We said the same thing. Hey, the first 10%, right? And it's not like if we make the 100 million, then we'll give some away to other organizations. It's like, no, we're going to give that first, we're going to give that first lamb of the flock, not knowing if there'll be 9 more.
Yes.
And I think that's, I think that honors the heart of God. And by the way, I think because we'll talk about this, you're working with some big organizations who really want to delve into anti-trafficking, and you met with them. I think that they're going to watch what one church can do with this many millions of dollars to make an impact in the anti-trafficking world, and then because they're following a biblical principles, like if you're faithful to the little, you'll be trusted with life. I think that $100 million, I'm just going to go on record, is the first $100 million.
That's good, Jim.
And I think it's the same thing. It's like if we're faithful with this first coming in, it's the conversation we were having before this of on Advanced Commitment Night. There was a lady going, "I don't have any money. This isn't for me." And then Janessa comes and goes, "No, it's for everyone." And she comes, right? It's the widow's mite. It's it doesn't matter. It's not the amount. It's the heart and the sacrifice and the cost. I won't offer the Lord that costs something that costs me nothing. So nobody is giving out a surplus.
Right.
And so I think it goes back to what we sat around that first time in whose backyard were we in?
Howard Hargrove, West Campus.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah. He smuggled a bottle of scotch in from Europe for me. Labeled as soap.
I could believe it.
Now the feds are going to show up. Now the feds are going to show up at his house and sorry,
Howard.
Howard.
Love you, Howard.
Jim,
what? I'm on a roll. All right, I'm on new meds.
Hey, nice.
Yep.
New dosage or
it's just different
completely new meds?
kind. Just a different kind.
Right. One of the things
It's not working.
what I love what you were talking about is when we've done end of year offerings that go to trafficking a couple years ago, Cars for Single Moms, we would do those things, and we're also looking at trying to meet our budget for the rest of the year at the same time. And you're kind of going all right, we're going to commit whatever money comes in over here
Yeah.
to these initiatives, we're not sure if we're going to actually be able to make budget. And sure enough, every time that it's God's economy. Every single time that we just say, hey, we're going to give in faith, God provides what we needed. That's what I think is going to happen here.
I mean, like it says in his word that he'll do.
You know, God does what he says he'll do. So.
Yeah.
Comes to truth.
Hey, I would love to just chat a little bit about trafficking and just what's facing us, what we've been seeing, because Jim, Amanda, was it 2 years ago that our church gave a few $1 million toward anti-trafficking efforts? And I'd love to just talk about, Amanda, maybe this is for you. What have you seen happen based off the generosity of Flatirons and based off what we were able to give? Like, what are some of the outcomes that you've seen? Maybe tell us a story about a short-term trip, whatever that is.
Yeah. I mean, we've made a massive impact, specifically globally. We took on a partner, AIM, working in Cambodia. Now they're in Belize. And then we continue to walk alongside One Child. They support a specific post-online exploitation center for kids in the Philippines. I had the privilege of visiting both locations earlier this year. The resiliency, so there's about 50 girls in One Child's program in the Philippines.
That Horizon?
Happy Horizons, yep. I mean, the youngest girl we met was 3 years old when she entered the program, right? And it was a sibling pair that had been taken out of their home, and then we met girls all the way up who were in college. These girls, I mean, their lives, have been devastated. They don't have families to go back to because their families are the ones that sold them. So they're on their own with the help of Happy Horizons. They're saying, we're singing worship. We sang Brandon Lake more times than I will ever sing him again in my life. But they're singing worship and they're saying, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to be a social worker. I'm the next lawmaker in this country. This is not happening again.
Amazing.
On my watch. So I think it speaks to the resiliency.
It does.
When God's involved, when the Holy Spirit is the true healer. This is not the end of your story. This is not the end of your journey.
Yeah.
And that I'm so excited for what we're entering here because both partners have big plans, for what to do with this funding and to continue. Like we heard tonight, even Mark with AIM saying this was just the start of this story happening over and over again. And then kind of a new pocket, we started in this anti-trafficking work, honestly, 15 years ago when we launched a strip club ministry. Is one of Sparrows.
Why don't you define that?
A ministry in strip clubs.
To the strip club.
Thank you. There you go. Strip club
Jesse
ministry.
and I just felt like that's a burden on our heart. We had to go.
We'll really take one for the team.
We'll take one. No, I've never been in a strip club.
Right.
Ever. My plan is to never.
It was a ministry, yes, to the strip clubs of Denver. And so for me, that's where I started learning about the issue in our own city. And we've tracked with it for a while. 2 years ago, we're able to support a couple safe homes here in Denver, and we're just getting started. And I think what I'm seeing come together, Jim, you've been talking a lot, like if you're law enforcement, if you've got DA connections, let us know. Between the nonprofit, faith-based kind of NGO thing, law enforcement connection, and then some of these clandestine rescue people we're getting to know, right? There's this web, this really cool spider web that's starting to weave together. Go ahead.
I want you to talk about that,
Yeah.
but like Jim, before she talks about what we're seeing in Denver specifically, because we're seeing there's a lot of work happening overseas, and there's a lot of work that still needs to happen. But then more and more, as we study, as we meet people, there's so much happening in our backyard. Yeah. But you say rescue to restore. And rescue is like the fun part. It's kind of like the cool part. You bust indoors and everything. Restore is hard. It takes a long time. It's the most expensive part. Like anybody can bust in a door. When it comes to restoring girls whose identity have really been stolen from them. Yeah. Why is restoration so important? And then, I'd love to hear you just talk about what does restoration look like for these women, whether it's overseas or here in the stateside?
Yeah, nobody. That's a lot. I think I'm gonna break that apart because you might have to ask me that again, right? Because again, the meds aren't working well, and it's late in the day. But I think that Flatirons gives people permission to say I'm not okay, and I have a lot of brokenness in my past, and this is the only place I can say it out loud. Therefore, a lot of people with baggage from their childhood, from their whatever, they feel safe here. So that when they hear about the trafficking thing, they're like, that's me. Like I not just sympathize, I empathize. I've been hurt. I've been held down. I've been molested, right? Like, oh gosh, today I almost had to leave stage. I said, I didn't ask him in rehearsal, like, hey, tell me a story that breaks your heart and tell me a story that gives you joy to keep going. And he told the story of standing in front of his hotel and sees a middle-aged man walking. Was a little boy who had a teddy bear under one arm, and he was taking that boy to a room.
Hand in hand. Yep.
And hand in hand. And then he goes and tries to find him later, and they're disappeared, and it's like it's a miss. And like you know, I've got some pain in my childhood, so I immediately was just like, let's go find that, you know, whatever that is. But I think our church just goes like it might not be the same pain. They just say pain. We got to take care of that. Like when 3 Christmases ago, it's like we use the shepherd's boys.
Yeah.
Going like they're being trafficked. I mean, they're enslaved. They're slave labor, right? And you can talk about this because like I went through all these facts and stuff like there, and it's like, I mean, trafficking is sexual, but it's also labor. It's organs.
Yeah.
Like we're raising kids to sell their kidneys. I mean, it's like I'm all over the place, but it's like that Sound of Freedom movie got my attention. The border crisis that I thought it was, you know, several thousand kids came across, and it's hundreds of thousands of kids that came across, and nobody knows where they are, and nobody cares, and they're chained to a bed, or they're chained to a bench, or they're dead because their liver's been sold or something like that. Then we went to Honduras, and we're in Honduras, and like 1,000 people come through this village on their way to their border, and it's like their options are, if I stay here, I know we'll die. There's a 50-50 chance we'll die between here and the border of the United States. But if we get across, there's a chance.
Yeah.
It's 100% chance we'll die here. So I'm going to pack up my family. Average woman is raped 3 times between her village and the border, right? Right? And it's like, I was so self-righteous going like, oh, those people that are coming across the borders. Like, listen, if I was a dad and I had 2 little girls, or, you know, a son or daughter, and I know we're going to die in this town, we're making a run for it. You can close your door, or you can, whatever that is. I'm just saying, I'm not here because I'm smuggling fentanyl across. I'm not here for, I just don't want to die in this village or see my daughter end up in the sex slave, right? And so that softened my heart a lot. I mean, I think we need to have controlled borders, and I think we ought to go after the bad guys and all that kind of stuff. But don't lump all people into, they're just coming here to exploit our life. No.
Right.
Every dad listening to my voice said, if I have 3 kids and I live in a slum in Honduras, because that's where we were born, and there's a chance that we might get across the border and not die, I'm going for it.
Sure.
So that's what turned my heart toward it. But I think our whole church has a similar heart. It's like, you know, it's not just a bumper sticker when we say "Me Too." Is that all you got? It's like we are messy people. I got a messy pastor. We got a messy staff. I saw that tonight, by the way. We won't bring that up. My point is like, we want the darkest of the dark, the messier. The first mission trip, Amanda, we ever did was to Kabul, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We had 700 people show up for this is the heart of this place. And so it's like, I don't know what other churches are doing. I'm sure there's churches that are looking at the anti-trafficking, but it's like, we were made for this. And our people are responding. Like, before we came in here, there's thousands of people out there in line trying to sign their name, going like, let's save some kids. And it's like, they didn't do that because of me. They did it because the Holy Spirit's working in their life and going, this is my church and this is what we care about. And that's why this is my church. So I will do this.
And they're out there saying, churches don't do this. Churches don't let us in their lobbies, and thousands of people are signing this petition.
Yeah.
Amanda, talk a little bit about what you're seeing come together here in Denver specifically. We got lots of stories about overseas.
Yeah.
Talk about Denver.
Yeah. I mean, both relationships that we've had with some organizations working in this space and new organizations we're getting to know, coupled with the law enforcement connections. To your point, we're the type of church that not all our churches represent. You know, we
buy SWAT vans.
Okay. And ammo and guns. But that was, should I not have said that?
Hey.
You told
we're
me
fine. We're
if we
fine.
don't do that, I'm going to be very angry.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that. Did I say that
Amanda.
conversation? Could you had a conversation with, like, well, do you think they're okay?
No, it's all good.
I'll drive that bus. I'll throw myself under the tires.
So
Go.
a couple years ago when we did the 500, we did the Fighting for the Forgotten. It was a Christmas initiative. And then we did $500,000 to AIM. They called me one day and they said, listen, we've got this really special need within our SWAT team. We need some access.
Law
I
enforcement.
don't even know if we should be saying this for their sake. We've got access
in the country somewhere.
to some
someplace,
firearms.
Could
we
They need to buy
use-
firearms and ammo.
Yeah. Could we use some of your funding to make this purchase? And I said, well, I'll ask. And so I went to your office and you said, if we don't do that, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, and we did.
And we did. And it's needed because the gang environment
Right.
in their work,
Yes.
right, in Southeast Asia is on the rise. So the brothel trafficking situation and the gang environment are becoming one and the same.
man.
Yeah.
So, you've joined some think tanks, like, so you're now aware of Front Range.
Oh, man.
Like, talk about that. And
Yep.
then
Denver's, I think, stats kind of vary, but in general, the 5th largest trafficking city in the nation, right? And it's
goodness.
largely attributed to the intersection of I-70 and I-25.
There's nothing close.
Right in our city, yeah. So we're kind of like the western hub, right, before you get to California.
Jeez.
And there's these cycles and circles, right? They're kind of cycling the Rocky Mountain West and sharing all kinds of resources. But so we have this extreme prevalence in our city, coupled with just a lack of everything: law enforcement resources, investigative resources. My opinion, lack of prosecution, right? There's some good people doing some good work, but it's barely making a dent.
Well, that's one of the initiatives that we're trying to get on the ballot is
Yeah.
harsher punishments
Right.
for
Yeah,
for the trafficking of
Right,
kids.
because it's political. So much of our state is express yourself, right? I mean, all this gender identity, express yourself, be who you want to be. So the hard-nosed line on this is violence in the form of sex.
Yes.
I mean, it's lost in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so I look, so we're having this conversation, like, what can we do in Denver? How can we be a bedrock that brings so much of this conversation together? And you get online and you Google anti-human trafficking organizations in Colorado. There's dozens that pop up. And so I'm going through, and they're all attributed to dozens of organizations that are on their task forces. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, why would we do something else? This is out there. Why would we start something else? And so I started asking around and I said, where's the church? When trusted people are like, that's not, the church is not involved in a meaningful way. And so then I'm like, well, we'll do our own thing then. Because then I go, the impact is limited if Christ is not in it. You're
Right.
only going to get so far.
Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. If He's not there, there's no freedom.
Right. Yeah. So beautiful, well-intended people.
Oh, yeah.
Not driven by the Holy Spirit.
Sure.
Have a limited capacity.
I mean, going back to what you said, our sexual ethics and what we believe about sexuality, it's like, it's just sexuality, it's just gender, it's all that stuff. But you go down line, and when that's somebody's, I'm trying to think of the right word, when that's their identity, the prime way they express their identity, it's going to be so much harder for them to enact laws against anybody's sexuality, against anybody acting out sexually. And that's where it leads to. It goes from just sexual expression all the way down to sexual exploitation. And we're softer on it because we don't want to draw a line anywhere above it.
I identify as a pedophile.
Jeez.
Is a thing.
Well,
Jeez.
could you turn me on to a podcast I was listening to about this? It's like, and you just said the word. It's the same way with rape. It's not about sex. It's about violence, right? And so is the assault on children and women. This is about violence. This is about anger and destruction being lived out sexually, dominance, things like that. And it's like, that's the ugly part about it. This isn't just like misplaced romance.
No.
This is about broken people who are angry at the universe, right? But who do I act out on? Somebody weaker than me.
Yeah, of course.
And then I feel powerful, right? So tell me, expand a little bit on our plan of kind of being this task force, but really by task force, I mean like bringing the right people to the table in combination. Like what have you discovered? What have you planned? And then I got a really hard question for you at the end.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, I think, we're talking in the anti-trafficking space, prevention, rescue, and restoration. So what I'm seeing kind of bubble through the cracks as we talk about this more and more is people running organizations or Christ following law enforcement connected folks who are saying, let's start something new. Yeah. So what I see into the new year is bringing a collaboration of those folks together to dream, like what is not working? Why is this not working? What needs to happen and what resources can we put behind it? Mm-hmm. So I see that coming together in the new year.
What would you, let me ask you that, right? When you've talked to law enforcement, I have not met a cop that says, I don't care about trafficking.
Oh yeah.
Right? So what is their block? I mean, I think I know the answer to that, but what is keeping our law enforcement from going and kind of intervening?
Red tape. There's so many layers to, I think, both from the agency's end, but also from the complexity. I mean, you talk about a cartel circle that's running trafficking. There's assets involved, money, powerful people, drugs, all of it. So I just say generally it's red tape. There's so many hoops to jump through.
Right.
And it's hard to make an effective impact with little to limited resources. Yeah. And the red tape.
So somebody that's listening to this, sits in Flatirons campuses or LA, is like, that seems overwhelming. Like, that's Goliath. Like, so how can we make a difference in those blocks? Like we're going to spend millions of dollars on this. What are we buying? What are we purchasing? What? And by that, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like, what are we removing so that it's a direct?
Can I flip it? Can I say what we're adding?
Oh, yeah, of course.
We're adding the church. We're adding the power of the thousands of people who are listening to this, who are sitting in our campuses, who aren't going to take this. You know, we're not playing house here.
Come on.
We're talking cosmic evil. Satan has made an agreement to keep this in place.
Ooh.
Dang.
We're talking occult. We're talking
They're going to hear that
cults.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's in the sermon. That's in the sermon.
Right? So when law enforcement's executing a raid, that is well intended and should be done. But what we're talking with our folks is we're dipping into the spiritual realm now, and we're praying it away. Good. We're fasting it away. We're digging into porn. We haven't gotten there. We should talk about porn. And we're saying, yeah, this is here. This is now. This needs to be tackled. But this is on a whole nother level that we're coming after in the spiritual realm, in the cosmic realm. So the technology, the equipment, the funding, it's all going to happen. What we will be best to contribute is our collective no more Satan, and we're stepping it up because we're coming after you in our prayers. We're coming after you in our awareness. You showed a heat map this weekend.
I wanted to zoom in on it because it's like at this intersection and this intersection. I know those people had gotten in their trucks and gone over there going bam, 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 bam.
That's why we don't get that detail.
I know it.
So the awareness, right? And I think the other asset and opportunity we have coming is teaching our families and our parents and our students about, I mean, you told a story tonight that you just heard on the news.
Yeah.
So I told you today, I listened to a documentary today, and the gal that they were interviewing said, you know, historically in the movies, human trafficking is your kid's at the park and the white van pulls up and snatches your daughter and she's gone. That's not what we're talking here.
Right.
The new white van is your device. It's your phone, it's your tablet. Right. That is destroying your children. That's kidnapping your children. And
it's not even always human. It's AI.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is like, and I'm not saying all AI is demonic, but I think it's a great tool for the demonic to get inside your kid's head. Who knows your kid better than your kid knows?
Yep.
You know, it's like, hey, well, why do you think the church in general has been so slow? And I mean, we're only paying attention to it in the last couple of years, right? Why do you think the church, Christians, have been so slow to go, like, to pay attention to coming? Because Christians got on board with the pro-life, and Christians got on board with the pro-marriage, and Christians got on board with, I don't know, pick your big whatever. But nobody has talked about this until recently. Why do you think they haven't? And why do you think we are now?
Well, I think that the prevalence of particularly the online trafficking thing has increased tremendously since COVID. I mean, I think stats will show you that. So it is becoming more of a problem, which I think we're becoming more in tune to. But we're also unaware. It's an over there issue. That does not happen in the U.S. That happens in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
That happens in these impoverished countries where families don't have another choice but to sell their daughter. No, this is happening in
Boulder, Adams, and Denver County. I would say those are three of the wealthiest counties.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Right. Yeah. It's like, that's where it's
insane.
And I think we don't want to accept what it is. Human trafficking is a father dropping his son off at a gas station for some stranger to rape him for $300. That's human trafficking in this country. Jeez. And we don't want to. I just told you a story in California, a couple that surrogated 21 kids and selling them out of their own home. We don't want to. It's awful, right?
We don't want to look inside.
That is not
sure.
my
We don't want to
people.
look at us.
Right.
We want to look at other people. Say that's an out there problem, not an in here problem.
I wonder if there's a comparison to what Christians did in the 40s in Germany. We don't want to look at that. I heard somebody say, like, he said, when the Nazis came for the homosexuals, I didn't say anything because I'm not a homosexual. When the Nazis came for the socialists, I didn't say anything because I'm not a socialist. When the Nazis came for the Catholics, I didn't say anything because I'm not Catholic. When the Nazis came for the Christians, there was nobody to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like we have to, now that we know,
Yeah.
you can't unknow.
You can't unknow.
And now it's just the man who knows what he should do and doesn't do it, to him and his sin
Yeah.
is like I throw out a pretty bold statement about, like, go out here and sign these petitions.
Yes.
The petitions are make harsher sentences for people selling children.
Yep.
No irreversible surgeries on children,
Minors. Yep.
on minors before they're 18, along with the gender thing. And then the third one is keep sports biologically safe.
Yep.
And it's like, that's not Republican, Democrat. And I made a statement that says, like, that's a Christian. If you can't get on board with protecting children, if we're going with a spiritual battle thing, you're a deserter.
Yeah.
You're a traitor to the Lord. I don't know how. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. You can say, you know what, I can't sign a petition that gives harsher penalties to people who sell children. It's like, because I don't want to mix politics and church. It's like, I just want to go, I really do. I'm going to say this on record. Please go to another church. Because it's like, even Paul says, it's like, if one part of the body is toxic, you will infect the rest of the body. I'd rather cut you off rather than you be toxic. Like, or better yet, repent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, repent.
Jim, let's go there a little bit. Like, so proud of our people. Probably
I
thousands.
have a list of people I want to leave our church. I thought that's where you were going.
No.
You know,
So we've already heard people say there's a separation of church and state. Why are you doing this? How would you advise Christians to let their faith direct their political involvement? Like, just give us a couple best practices as a Christian. Here's how you should approach bringing Christianity into your politics, and not separation of church and state, leaving your Christianity at the door and then going in and voting politically separate from what you believe and from your faith.
That's impossible. You cannot leave your Christianity faith. So I'm not a Republican Christian or Democrat Christian. I'm a Christian Republican. I'm a Christian white American. I'm a Christian heterosexual. I'm a Christian whatever. Christian is what forms whatever comes after that. And if I say I'm a gay Christian, what that means is my gay orientation defines what my Christianity will look like. It's like, no. The overall one is over here. So like my faith, and I say some people are doing this, like when you look at the immigration stuff and all like that, it's like my faith says we should take care of people that don't have homes. Okay, then go for it, all right? And then somebody else's faith would say, like, but we have to have this going on, right? Or at least you have a moral compass to point to. But this idea is that I'm a Christian, but then I vote or ignore what's happening to children over there. It's like, find me that in the Bible. It's like you cannot separate it out. So when I'm not saying that we should be a theocracy or Christian nationalism or something like that. But even our founding fathers says this democracy won't work without a faith-based value system.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so like there's just truth. You can't vote for lies. And the truth is defined by Jesus. And so the truth says this is how image of God people are created. This is how what image of God people are worth. All right. And so it's Christianity has been involved in the abolition of slavery across the world.
Yes.
Sometimes we were late to the table, but nobody else was going to the table. So we look to that. And so Christians have to step in and going there's the image of God worth in a person. You can't be silent when it comes to two things. How do we preserve the life of unborn kids? And how do we take care of moms who are in crisis? And because they're both, we're not going to sacrifice either one of their lives as one is more valuable. And Christians get really, really self-righteous going, hey, no abortion. Right? Then, hey, you got an extra bedroom? Because this girl's going to be on the street. Right? It's and those are the values. And we're very selective in our Christian values. It's because when I hear about Mark's story about that man with a boy, whatever, I just want to go kill that man.
Yep.
When I hear about I've gone to this one massage place and I now that I know this information, one of them has a tattoo. It's almost like an Auschwitz tattoo. And I just wonder, is he or she, are they working off passage? Sure. Are they indentured? Are they slaves? It's but just I've got to pay attention to that. And so my way I deal with them now is I want to introduce you to my Jesus one day.
Yep.
And so going back to, he's like, I don't think that we need to impose our faith system on people, right? As Americans, we should all be allowed to say and speak truth wherever. Jesus compels us to speak truth into darkness. And so when we see darkness defined by Jesus as darkness, to not address that is to be negligent in our faith. Right. And for the record, the only people saying separation of church and state are state.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
And stupid Christians who go I guess there's a law that we can't. There's not a law. There's a law that it's the same law that says that says freedom of speech and it's you have freedom. You have the freedom of speech to stand up in your high school classroom and go, I believe Jesus is Lord, Son of the living God.
Yep.
You have freedom of speech going, I don't think homosexuality is God's best intention for a person. Right? You should be able to say, right, you should be able to wear a t-shirt that says gay pride, and you should be able to wear a t-shirt that says two genders. Right? This is America, right? Now, as a Christian, right, I'm not going to go up to the pride person and punch them in the face because they're an image bearer of God. I just think Christians Christians, can we just stop being stupid and just love and meet people where they are and realize that we are flawed sinners. We are slaves that have been freed by the same master, and we would be in hell. Ours isn't your sin. Ours is this other sin, both equally disqualifying. Yeah. But when it gets to bringing your faith into every arena, Jesus doesn't give us the option of not doing that.
Right.
That's not the same as I'm trying to force Jesus down anybody's throat. Listen, sometimes, parents, the best thing you can do is force Jesus down your kid's throat. All right? I mean, it just is. It's my parents forced Jesus down my throat. I was I don't want to go to church. I just want to stay home and watch Walt Disney on Sunday night. That's a personal story. But I never got to.
Because you were in church.
But you know what? I turned out okay.
That's right.
And now I can get it on video. It's great.
Because you were the kid and they were the parents. And sometimes parents have to have their kids do things kids wouldn't choose on their own. But it's better for them, right?
Do you understand the level of countercultural statement you just made? Not just to the world, but Christian parents going you know what? I don't want to make him do anything. I did the same thing when I was a kid. Who am I? It's what you just said is sometimes parents make their children do things they don't want to do.
Yes.
I wouldn't have bathed in elementary school without my parents.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have eaten anything healthy for me. Wouldn't have gone to school. There are so many things that parents, you think about sports practice too. It's good Lord. the idolatry of sports in our country, but it's like parents will force their kids to go to so many sports practices when their kids don't actually want to go. But it's like, no, you will go. You will go. I don't want to go to youth group. Okay, you don't have to go.
Oh,
right.
Oh, but mic drop. Yeah. Hey, parent, let me tell you this. There is this infinitesimal percentage. Your kid's going to get a shoe contract one day, right, for playing volleyball. All right. It's just probably right. But there is a 100% chance that she or he is going to need faith and a relationship with Jesus Christ every moment of their life, especially when they don't get the shoe contract. You know, when they get cut from the team, when they don't get asked to prom, when they don't get asked to this, when AI comes online and says, you're a piece of whatever, do this for me. They're going to need Jesus. Volleyball won't save them. Football won't save them. Soccer won't save them. A 4.5 GPA won't save them. Jesus will save them. And so many times we go like, hey, you know, I don't want to force Jesus down their throat, but I will make them, I'll spend $10,000.
Come on, Jim.
On volleyball camp for my above average daughter who doesn't even really want, at any moment, might walk in the door and go, I don't really want to play anymore. And the person who will criticize them is the parent. And it's like, it's just insane. So if we're operating, I'm going to tie this back in. If we're operating with this kind of mindset about this is important and this is not important, no wonder we don't want to pay attention to anything ugly.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and it's like, hey, like Christians are you know, Flatirons. Our numbers are up. Our offering is up. Our Bible studies are full. Our youth group is growing. We're in a Be Free initiative. We're planning on launching campuses and stuff like that. You know, okay, all that's well and good. What difference is it making out there in the world?
Right.
And if the answer is not tangible and count, you know, like, so whenever we hang up our hats here, okay, let's have a party and let's go like, what difference did it make that we were on staff for 20 years?
Sure.
It's like, well, divorce rates are down.
Yep.
We saw 200 kids go on, become missionaries or become pastors. We saw this level of crisis pregnancies either go down or abortions go down, and we saw our compassion go up. We fed this many people. We rescued this many people.
Yep.
We saw this many girls restored. We saw this many little boys restored, and it's like we got to get our faith. We got to get up off our knees, say amen, and go to freaking war. And God has presented us through this Be Free initiative.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Bible studies. I love the Institute. I love expanding the college. But as we're speaking, there are kids living in hell.
Yeah.
Right? And there is no hope. No one's coming unless we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, go.
I was just going to say, let's start talking about that. So a couple of things. Number one, if you're not here this weekend, and we know so many of our people can't be around this weekend, although it's time change, so more people are going to be around because
at 9
the kids are awake.
There's a Bronco game, and they keep winning.
I know they win, which
What
is
is
bad.
happening?
That's like
It's
heart
bad
attacks.
It's bad for business. It's bad for church. So, number one, if you're not here this weekend, is it protectcoloradokids.org or
Protect Kids Colorado.
Protect Kids Colorado.
Yeah, PKC.
PKC. If you just Google that, you can find out. You got to sign this petition in person. So the whole thing's above board. But you want to find out where they are. You want to sign this petition and make sure that it gets on the ballot.
I think there's a way, because I was talking to one of our people today. She says, I didn't know we were doing it at church this week. And because she's involved in whatever politics, she already had a copy to go around to her neighborhood and get 40 signatures.
Yeah.
So you can get on there this week.
Yep.
And I think, do you know what the deadline is for that turning
I feel
in?
like it's February.
Oh, I thought it was December, so February's even better.
Don't quote me on that, but I think there's a couple months.
We already
still.
recorded you. Sure. We're quoting you.
We can still do signatures, yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be more information on our website as well.
Sure.
Amanda, if they want to if their local law enforcement DA, if they have connections there, Be Free Colorado.
Be Free Colorado. There's a form you can fill out. Just tell us a little bit
It
about
says next
who we
steps.
are. Yep.
So under Be Free Colorado, it says next step. And if you go down there, you'll see the 3 initiatives. You'll see the campus one, you'll see the develop one, and then you get to the rescue one. And then it says, you've listed out all these organizations. Click here, click here, click here.
And there's 8 or 9 things on there. You can volunteer tomorrow to combat human trafficking in our city.
Man, that's good. And then, Jim, I want you to talk for a few minutes around what's going to happen next weekend and just how we just had advanced commitment on Thursday where some of the leaders of our church, people who were prepared to make their commitments, went forward. And you could sense the weightiness in the room where people were taking deep breaths and they were considering what God's telling them to do and then saying, am I going to say yes or not? Would love for you to just tell everybody who's watching and listening just what they should be thinking about, what they should be praying, and maybe even some personal anecdotes about what you guys have been thinking about and praying as well. And then we'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah. So leaders go first. And so we're going to be looking at a story next weekend where all of David's life, he says, before I build my own house, my own palace, I just want to honor God and I want to build him a temple. And God says, it's not going to be you. It's going to be your son. And David gets all the people together, all the leaders together. And that's why this past Thursday was like an advance. So these are, in Galatians, Paul says the influencers, meaning they lead small groups. They lead kids ministry. They lead student ministries. They lead guest services. Leaders go first. So David gets them all together and says, so I don't get to build it, but hey, the finances are all good. Everything's lined up. And I would say the same thing. I'm giving my sermon away if you don't want to. Is like Flatirons, we're healthy.
Yeah.
Our finances are good. Our attendance is good. Our staff, we just took a staff health survey. It's like the best we've ever been.
Best we've ever been.
Best we've ever been. Like flourishing.
Yeah.
You know, if you've gone back 6 years ago, it was like it was a different F word.
Different score.
Different score. But we've intentionally become healthy, and our church is healthy, and we're planting campuses, and we could do a lot of stuff without the Be Free thing. But then, like David says, but God wants to do something more, like so big, so whatever, that at the end of it, it's not like Flatirons is great, or Jim is a great leader, or Jesse was a great leader, or whatever, or these initiatives were really, really worth it. It's like, are you amazed at how good God is? Because only he could pull that off. That's what he's pulling us into. And as people begin to see like these really are life and death.
Yeah.
Like marriages will be saved or not saved. Kids will. I met a couple weeks ago, I said, right now there's a girl at home trying to figure out if she's going to take her own life or not. Well, right before I walked into here, a mom stopped me and she goes, that was my daughter. She tried to take her life. Like while I was at church hearing that, she was at home trying to do that. And she said, that was my daughter. She got tears. And like, I said, how is she? Is she okay? She said, she's safe. She's good. She's back in school and all that. But there's like, this was in our face, is like, people will meet Jesus. And Jesus made this decision that this is how I'm going to do it. You know, he could have split the sky and spoken out of the sky. He's done that before. He could have spoken out of a donkey. He's done that before. He could have, written on a stone tablet. He's done that before. He's written on a wall. He's done that. But for some reason, Jesus says, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to take these really jacked up people. The only thing they have going for them is they just turned to me and said, well, you've saved me and forgive me. And then I'll say yes. And now I'm using them. I think everybody on Thursday and everybody this weekend is going like, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm not a spectator anymore. Like I think I said this. It's like, I'm tired of seeing God work through other people.
That's good, Jim.
And I would love the honor of going like I never thought with my story, I could lay my head on a pillow and go, hey, I helped get a little girl, a little boy out of sex slavery into some restoration movement. And now they have a shot at a whole life with Jesus. Yep. It's like, God used me to do that. And I think that's the vision, right? That Be Free is like, no, it's not about them or other people. Even David says, I've got everything organized. Now, personally, I got to get involved with my own treasure. And so then to watch people walk up to that box at the foot of the cross and we always have the best seats because it's the front row or it's on the stage looking out. We get to see that. And I saw people like, I'm going to drop this card. Our life's going to be very different than what we thought it was.
Yep.
And if we put this card back in our pocket and walk away, nobody will know.
Yep.
But I saw people weeping. I saw one man hold it and his wife put it in the box. Like, put it in. Mike, I know who you are. Right? But I saw people taking a step of faith.
Yeah.
That because they thought it was worth it.
Yeah.
And they want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's not out of guilt or shame. Like, I guess I have to do this because it's like, nobody has to do this. It's like, why? Why would you not? Because it is hard. It's different. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you the hard question. So I've been trying to listen to the Holy Spirit and like pay attention to people's countenance and stuff like that. And you were in my office the other day we were talking about all this.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I said, so you see this a lot with, like over at AIM, the women who work with all these girls, is just like, it's heavy.
Yep.
And so for the last several months, we have tasked you to look into the darkest of the dark.
Yep.
And how are you carrying that? And what's God teaching you personally through that? Because we're asking a lot of people to lean into darkness. Sure. And what the caveat is, okay, it's heavy.
Yeah.
So how are you doing with this? And
well, yeah. I mean, you were a couple of weeks ago, we were meeting about logistics. Like, what's the plan? And you asked me, is it getting to be too much? And I broke into tears.
You did.
Because my husband and I, sorry, Bern, had just had one of the top 3 fights of our marriage that weekend. Yeah. And so
do we need some people over your house? Do I need to care about it?
It's okay. You can slap him a little bit. It's fine.
We'll see him tomorrow. I'll look for him.
Okay,
What did you do?
When I say we're not playing house here.
Yeah, right.
We are in spiritual ground, right? We are in a battle. We're in a war zone. I've spent my year kind of trying to develop this initiative, and it has taken a spiritual toll. Over the summer, I had a series of dreams. Oh, like the worst things you could learn about sex trafficking, I was dreaming. And I would wake up in the morning and I would know that was Satan in my head replaying, right? The things I had heard or learned that day. So awful. And I, more recently, a couple staff members who I think have the gift of discernment have said to me, what's going on? And so I've asked for prayer, which has helped tremendously. On the very beautiful side, this has been a holy experience. It's so much more than putting together a project. Yeah. It's we are digging into the foundational components of people's lives. Yeah. And we're looking to slice evil out, and we're looking to enter the spirit and to restore. And that I tell my girlfriends all the time, guess who I met today? Someone who is on the other side of the country, who has no business being at one of our campuses. I met a man a couple weeks ago, works for I won't say the name, a national center for children who are being exploited. That might help. Why are you here? I'm in town for a conference. Some friends of ours brought me to Flatirons today. How can I help? Wow. So it's this, God is just laying this table for us to participate in.
So with that in mind, as anybody's listening to this, they're about to rearrange their life. Yeah. What are you, speak for you as the leader of this part, what are you inviting people into? Yeah. And what's the warnings, but what's the blessing that comes with it?
Pay attention to your gut. Pay attention to your intuition. You know something's wrong. Do something about it. Okay. Don't wait for us. We're not funding a bajillion initiatives here, right? You have a mission and a calling in your life. Go do it. Don't wait for us. God will provide for you. Don't wait on, the red tape from this end. Go live out the calling of your life. Maybe it's big. Maybe it's one person. Go do it. You got to pray. If you're not covered in prayer, if you're not inviting people into you, that holy covering, discernment and prayer, fasting, God, show me, this is not my work, this is yours. You're going to get into a lane where you're doing it on your own, right? For a while, God, I think it was one of your messages recently, yoke. What's the oxen and the yoke? And I felt it for a couple of weeks there. It was right when we were talking. Oh man, I've taken it on myself. I'm not allowing him in. You better start with prayer. You have no business dipping into the world of human trafficking if you're not covered in the banner of Jesus. It will destroy you, and it's not gonna be effective.
That's so good.
It's the evilest of the evil, right? The commodification of human beings is as dark as it gets.
Aren't you glad that God called you to do it?
No, not really.
Amanda,
I'm privileged.
Yeah,
honored. Yep.
Amanda, we want to say thank you
Thanks,
for all your
guys.
work on
Thanks
behalf
for
of
the
all of
opportunity.
Flatirons. Thanks for leading us in this effort.
Yeah.
And diving in and going to the hard spaces. So, Flatirons, we love you. Next weekend is a big, big weekend.
Yep.
Big.
Make sure that you're here. Make sure that you're prayed up. Make sure that you've been asking God, what are you telling me to do? And be ready to respond on behalf of all of us here at Flatirons. We love you. Cannot wait to see you at church this next weekend and for the final week of the Be Free podcast. Have a great week.
See you.